What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. Today I wanted to look in a little bit more into the EV sector. Some of these tickers that are catching my interest probably have some of your interest as well. Let's see what's going on. I will do individual videos for them as time goes on, as news gets released, as things happen. But right now I'm just checking out what's going on in the industry overall in this sector, see if there's any opportunities, and I wanted to look at Polestar, Mullen, Sin, and Rivian. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and hit the like button. I'll get right into the information. I'm going to take these in order: Polestar, Mullen, Sin, and Rivian. So it's going to be a little bit longer video. If you're not interested in all of them, just go ahead and skip to the part that you want to watch, and you're welcome to do so. So looking at Polestar, I know that it has a lot of attention right now. Maybe some of you are already in it, or you're considering getting in it, or you're seeing the moves and you're thinking, why am I sitting on the sidelines? But let's just do a brief look at what's going on here, what I kind of think is gonna happen, take place, and some of the reasons behind that. We'll look at some of the news or what's lingering out there, what could be a positive or a negative catalyst for the near term. Near term, I'm saying 3 to 6 months type of thing. So with Polestar, we see it in this down channel. It's just attempting to try to break out and create a new area to trade in. It's still relatively new. There's a lot of hype that's going on behind it. So this one's going to be a little bit more volatile, but it is following the overall sector pretty well. You know, we can see that all of these are pretty much just in a down channel for the most part, and it's no different on Polestar. It's in the EV sector. It's going to trade kind of in line with them outside of the hype or whatever's going on, whoever's jumping in, trying to momentum or day trade this thing. And right now, I think that's exactly what you have to do. You have to be in and out of this one. You have to be able to momentum trade it. You need to find those supports and resistance lines and just be able to trade in between. Like I say, you can always get in, you can get out, you can get back in, you can get out. You don't want to be diamond handing something new and shiny. It did have its run up. Let's look at something real quick on this. So opened up, had its pump initially, like all of these SPAC plays do. Steep drop off, had a few more bounces because, you know, everybody's still there, hyped up, trading it, pumping it, whatever. But in the end, I want to show you, obviously some of you might be familiar with Rivian, pump up, right? And then it got its volatility, and in the end, where is it? Down here at 25 bucks from 152 high. So with these, whenever they're new to the market, you get a little bit of short time that you can really day trade this thing. You can momentum trade, you can swing trade it, but you're not going to be wanting to hold diamond hand whatever from even this level, because they have to prove themselves to the market. We'll see, in my opinion, I bet another 35 to 50% pullback in Polestar from here at some point. There's going to be the lockup period that ends. Going to be some profit taking that goes from there. The options chain will come into effect. The puts are going to be played heavy. The shorts are going to come in. They see it as a new opportunity. Obviously, it's sitting high compared to what a lot of the EV sector is. Polestar is going to face the same challenges that all of the EVs face. They're going to have the supply chain issues. They're going to try to hit productivity. They're going to have money come into play. Are they going to be able to stay profitable? How are they going to do it? They have to prove themselves to the market, and the market as of right now, I guarantee you, is probably going to be hammering this thing down. So where will it find to actually start consolidating a little bit and really proving its worth? I think it's going to take a little bit of time. We have warrants, I think, that are executable at 1150, so there will be more dilution there. Are they going to have to dilute? Who knows? Let's see what happens, but I think in the short term, there's going to be some bounces. There's going to be some opportunities. It probably will head back to this 11 or at least nearby, and then let's watch it, guys. But in my opinion, it's going to come down, and I think it will continue to come down till it settles somewhere around 4 or 5 bucks before it wants to actually really prove itself in the market space and decide what it wants to do. Not a popular opinion, probably. That's why I'm saying momentum trade it. Do not get trapped holding a bag I don't think it's going to be your moonshot from the gate by any means. So I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Mullen, on the other hand, we're looking at a lot of people have been in Mullen. Maybe they're holding Mullen. Maybe they're diamond handing Mullen even. Right, there's really only a couple of plays that people are truly diamond handing with a community, with a reason, with a purpose. You don't want to have 5,000 shares of Mullen and be diamond handing because some kid with 10 shares is screaming diamond hand, either on the internet or on a chat page or whatever. You got a whole lot more skin in the game than that kid with 10 shares does. So you want to be trading things smart. You want to be looking for these supports, resistance, the swings. There are opportunities. Mullen has several things that are just kind of lingering out there right now. The battery tests seem to be going good. They have a Fortune 500 company that they want to be able to unveil, but it sounds like they're in a quiet period. They keep missing the deadlines for whenever our expectations are to hear on that. So there's some good news that's laying low, just waiting for it to be released on Mullen. I think that could be a nice catalyst. On the downside, they do have a vote out there for issuing more shares, dilution. Obviously, if the dilution happens, I think we would see a short-term pump as that supply gets eaten up. But if you're seeing a pump off a dilution, it's going to be short-lived, in my opinion. And we just have to see what happens. But again, it's momentum trading. So if you see it, take advantage of it if you can. The channels, Mullen's moving good enough that you could realistically scalp a little bit, but I would not be in for very long as far as what's going on, because it can take several days of a hit before it even gets back up to your break even. If you jumped in here because you saw it was a good trend line, you're 3 days later just barely breaking even. Probably not the best momentum trade if you're playing it to the upside right now. Let's see how $1 holds, and even 80 cents if it gets down there. Just gonna wait and see what happens with the news and the possible dilution. So catalyst or otherwise, let's see what happens. Sin, if you've been around the meme stocks, Naked, right, the lingerie, the swimwear company that was involved, well, Sin picked them up and they did a reverse split, so they brought that float down a little bit. This is, again, not one that you're going to be able to momentum trade, but we're just keeping an eye on the EV sector because at some point it's going to find its bottom and things are going to turn around. I think EVs have a big play in the future, but it's not about long holds. We don't want to be sitting here forever. We just want to see when it's going to turn and be able to get a little bit of money, a little bit of green in your account. You can't really momentum trade it because it takes these big drops and then just trade sideways. Big drop, trade sideways. Big drop, trade sideways. But it looks like it may have found a base. We got to see. It looks like it's turning around just like everything else right now in the sector is trying to do. Break out of that down channel. It does take some pretty decent swings between $1 and $2, but it's a lot of time is involved in between those swings. And if you're momentum trading, you don't want your money tied up that long. You want to be able to just get in and get out. So again, none of these are really momentum trades. We're just watching them to see what kind of news gets released and where the bottom actually comes in at. I think Tesla's looking a little bit better finally. So Tesla's probably going to be a big game player as far as what these are going to do. If Tesla's doing well, obviously the EV sector tends to do a little bit better. But let's just keep an eye on that as well. And then Rivian, as I compared with Polestar, I showed you that it, got all that hype, pap, 152. Now it's down at $25. I don't think Rivian's found its bottom yet. It is just consolidating. Watch the levels. This one does make good enough moves, I think, that you could still possibly momentum trade it to the up or the downside. I don't care which way you play it. You want to play calls or puts, it doesn't matter to me. As long as you're playing it in the right direction, as long as you're playing it how the trend is going, you can make some money here. So it does look like it's doing the same thing, right? Just slowly trying to break out of this downtrend. It's not making any push back upwards. It's just slowly consolidating. So Is it going to turn things around, or is it just going to continue to get sucked back down into this channel? As time goes on, I want to just break down some of these in more of their own individual videos so that we can cover them a little bit more in depth, keep up with the news, with the actual trends, what's happening. I know a lot of people have interest in these stocks, so I kind of want to be there and cover what I can. Probably be a little bit more towards Mullins and Polestar. Rivian, I think it still has plenty of things to prove before I would want to be throwing any videos out there, but I can see some news that could possibly be coming out. And as far as Mullen and Sin goes, Polestar, we're just gonna watch and wait on this one. Like I said, if you're playing that one in and out, in and out. All right, guys, well, thank you again for coming back and watching another video. As always, if you don't mind, hit the like button. You're welcome to drop in the comments any specific EV stock that you guys are watching that you think might have a chance, have a little bit of momentum behind it, and I'll be happy to look into that and see if it's something that I want to put on my watch list. And as always, if you want, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of the updates. All right, guys, stay golden and may your accounts stay green.